Hey everybody, it's Andrew Protopappas, or Mr. Andrew, the Interim Education Director at Catco is Theater and Catco is Kids, and welcome to lesson number 3 in our video series that is all about playwriting. In our last video, we talked about characters and how there are two main types of characters. The protagonist, the main character or the hero of the story, and the antagonist, the one who opposes the protagonist, is against the protagonist. We could also say they are the villain of the story. Today we're going to be talking about setting, something very important in stories. So without further ado, I think it's time for us to begin. So I'm going to say that class is now in session. So, setting. Now, when we talk about setting, we are talking about where and when a story is happening. So, sometimes stories have one setting, but most of the time they have several settings throughout the story. So, let's begin by talking about where. Of course, when I say where a story is happening, I mean a location or a place. It could be something really, really big and broad, like the universe. It could be something smaller, like the United States of America. It could be something even smaller and really specific, like Catco's Kids Summer Camps at 549 Franklin Avenue, Columbus, Ohio, 43215. That's the address of the Columbus Performing Arts Center, the home of Catco's Kids. So all of those are examples of locations and places, and again, they could be something really, really big and broad or something more specific. Those are all locations and places. Now, I said that setting was not only where a story is happening, but when a story is happening. So let's talk about the when. Now, of course, when I say when, I mean a time when the story is happening. Like the where, like locations and places, these can be very big and broad, or they could be very specific. It could be something like a whole time period, like the medieval era. It could be something more specific like an exact year, 1776. It could be a time of day, afternoon. It could be a very specific time during the day, like 6:49 p.m. Those are all examples of settings that answer when the story is happening. So, a setting is where, a location or place, and when, a time that the story is happening. Now, again, the best stories have several settings in them, and the best stories usually have both a time and a place. Now, sometimes one setting actually answers both the where and the when. So, for example, if I said the Wild West, that actually answers both where and when a story would be happening. The where is the western part of the United States, and the Wild West refers to a specific time period that was happening in the western part of the United States. So it also answers a when as well. So it's not only a where, but also a when. Well, that is it for this. I'm going to turn it over to you now because it's time for our activity for today. So here is my activity for you. Think again about your favorite book. Can you make a list of all of the settings in that story? Again, they could be wheres, locations and places. They could be whens, times. Write down as many as you can remember. Times, places, write them all down. Now go back to the scene that you have been working on for several of these videos now. Did you include any lines that the characters are saying to each other about where they are or maybe what time it is? If you didn't, add that information into your scene. Now, there's always a challenge when it comes to playwriting. You know, I like to kind of talk about some playwriting tips during these activity sections of these videos. We have to tell the audience everything they need to know through the lines of the play. That's the thing. The audience isn't sitting down and reading the book based on the play. Everything that they need to know so they understand the story needs to be said through the dialogue that the characters are saying, or maybe through the action happening on stage, maybe the way people are moving on stage. So that's really important. Now, the big challenge here is that we don't want our lines that we write about setting to sound like we're just telling the audience everything they need to know. It needs to sound natural. So when you go back and you edit and revise the scene by adding in details about setting, think about how you in your own life talk about places and times of day. Use that as inspiration for lines that you can write in your scene. Well, that is all the time we have for this video. Thanks for watching. Be on the lookout for more videos and education updates from Catco is Kids. For more information about our summer camps and classes, or to register for them, check out our website, www.catco.org. Thanks again for watching, and as always, stay safe, stay healthy, and stay creative. We'll see you next time. Bye.